Well, I used to say that through the 80s and 90s. Okay, you hear me on the radio. Okay, maybe it's an act. I thought I was trying to be as clear and explaining and warning and celebrating as much as possible, but it usually was taken as not serious. But I always said, you meet me personally, you'll have a totally different image of me. You'll find out I'm not at all what you think I am. And occasionally I would meet someone in the audience, and they would be surprised. They would be just flabbergasted the way I was in person, which would be the chemical body. So that even helped me understand that the chemical body is way different from the discarnate, electrified broadcasting body, because the hallucination was going on about me was more than I anticipated. So your reaction, I've had that reaction many times. You know what I mean? I used to brag about it. I used to tell the stupid sub-geniuses, you guys think I'm an idiot, blah, blah, blah. Dude, come over and meet me. You'll meet me. You'll realize I am your J.R. Bob Dobbs. You'll realize what a nice guy, what a neat guy I am, a friendly person, And you see that.
What we will say human, but you're not even human.
Well, I'm very human, soft, gentle, sense of human, but it's inhuman that I'm like that and then not like that on the radio. That's what you mean by not being human. Something like that? See, okay.
No, because we, or you, you are now the most ascending, or the most ascended.
Well, no, we don't. No, there are many people, Sarah, Saint Germain, all these people, Elijah, they've been. Oh, but I might be some feedback loop. I may be in a sense. That's why it doesn't define me. I might be some feedback backwards loop, reenacting the fall as a joke to bring things. Yeah, I might be a very complex version of ascended, but I would never say I'm the most ascended person.
No, I think you say that.
I say that among the little men. I say that you people, among the iONets. Well, Carolyn's right there, neck and neck. You know what I mean? It's always going to be neck and neck with Carolyn. She's always going to be it's going to be a tie race, a dead heat they call it. But so to realize the way I am in person, is that so surprising? Then that means I'm not human. Is that what you're saying? We'll start over again. What are you trying to say? Well, you surprised.
I understood now many things that are said, like having someone in your force field. And it's not about the emotions. Just looking how you react, how you interact with people,
what did you learn about me? We're dancing with the kids tonight in the park. Was that surprising or was that understandable? Playing with the kids.
No, you do this like very natural, without effort. You're really following your joy and
I think
relaxing and allowing.
I'm doing things before it's even thought about whether to do it. I'm dancing with the kids before you could notice whether I decided to dance with the kids, right? It's something like that. Already doing it. Whatever's happening, I'm already involved in it. There's not me sitting back, deciding, making a position, saying, okay, I'll do this. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, it's very spontaneous.
Yeah.
Very natural. It's not...
I'm not concerned about my image.
Mm-hmm. And I see the coherence, because many times you meet these spiritual leaders and wherever, and they're not at all what they are preaching.
Right.
And I see the coherence.
Yeah. And my behavior is coherent with what I present.
Yes, with what Ion is
Presenting. Yeah.
saying that we should do.
Yes.
Yes, like you're here to have fun.
Right. And we had fun, and we should put this on record. We go to this amazing park. It was Hitler's airport. It's huge.
Tempelhof.
What? Tempelhof. Templar's place. What's Hof mean?
Hof is like a
Station?
patio. Hof.
Patio, yeah. The Templar's patio. And there's a few old airplanes there, and a huge air hangar that is empty, and by this huge park, which is a lot of it's just paved, and people are playing soccer, hanging around. The Berliners are pretty amazing people. This is a different city. Everybody's really a slacker, and they can walk around drinking whatever they want, and they don't bother women. And they come out real late. So it was a great new aspect of Berlin that we experience today. So we go over to this area where they're growing gardens, and just the people's occupied and started growing stuff. And then this guy it was his birthday, and he had this recorded disco thing that we could play remote, and we got everybody dancing. But we got talking. This guy comes up to Roxanne and says, "I've seen you before," and Roxanne recognizes him, and he was someone you met at a gallery like three or 4 months ago.
In March.
March. You're at the gallery.
March 8th.
March 8th? That's International Women's Day, traditionally. But you had just started taking the drops, or that was just a special drops experience? What was that?
No, I've been taking the drops already since 2010 or
But
2011.
maybe, right, but you might have gotten the new generation or something, because these drops, you hadn't experienced that night at the gallery. You started to hear Ion talking to you, and you also could read people's minds or body behavior. So you're having this psychic transparency going on. It was disorienting you, and you were talking out loud, and people thought that you were acting bizarre. Well,
they thought I was on drugs or something.
Yeah, and you were, and the Ion says, "Report to Bob." She heard this in the gallery. Had you performed that night? Had you played music?
No. I was at the concert with some friends.
And then went to the gallery? Or was the concert in the gallery?
Whoa, we went near the place where the concert took place.
That's where the gallery was.
Mm-hmm.
So you watched the performance. There were some musicians.
Yeah.
So there was this guy there who you noticed. Well, all of a sudden, tonight, he's talking to you, and you're recognizing each other, and you're reminding him of that night and what was happening to you. And then he says, "Well, who is this guy?" pointing at me. And we explained to him that you heard these voices say, "Report to Bob." And this is the Bob that was said to you back in March. And this guy was from that night. Now he's talking to us. He was brought back to be part of this recognition.
The witness of that.
Yeah. Now he never heard you.
Anomaly.
Yeah, he had left and gone to a party. So he wasn't there when you were still going through these strange experiences. He may not have even seen you acting odd, right?
No, I think he noticed, but then he left.
Did he talk to you before he left?
No.
But you noticed him. Had you ever seen him before in your life?
Just when I met him that day.
That was the only time?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's this guy. He shows up in this guard park, just wandering around with a British girlfriend. And we start talking, and he's a lively guy. And then we explain that, he's asking, "Why are you with this guy? Who's he?" Well, Ion, we had to tell him a little bit about Ion. Ion told me to report to him, but Bob reported to me. and this guy was part of the beginning of it in March, and now he was there for the completion
Well,
of
he
it.
was a witness of that thing, and
He was a witness of the whole thing, and he showed up. And there's what is there, 4 million people in Berlin?
Almost.
Yeah, millions of people, and he shows up there right in our little spot in a huge aircraft landing place. Why there? No, he comes from the garden, but it was possible that you could have an interesting experience in the garden, but he showed up, and then he ended up dancing with us. So that is an ionic type of anomaly. So I explained this to the English girl and to a couple other people, and they were going, "That's absolutely amazing." You know, they basically intuited that sound like a pretty extreme synchronicity, right? So so that's an example of what of life in Iondom.
How your life becomes so magical.
Yeah, magical, self-referential. Pre-programmed.
Fun.
What?
Fun,
yeah. So that's an example. So you witnessed this.
Yeah, and he witnessed, and he was there to say, yeah.
Yeah. But that's what you're witnessing me around you, was this kind of fun thing that's going on all the time.
Yes.
I don't just say report to Bob. He told you to report. Like, what were you supposed to report to? Sliding in, sir. Waiting for my first assignment. Well, one thing that you've done is I've learned about Berlin. I haven't been here since 1936. Of course, I don't remember that at all. They have never been. I read about Berlin in Gravity's Rainbow in 1945, and you were describing life in Berlin in the 90s. Sounded like a replay at the end of World War II after the wall went down. But definitely, so I talked to this English girl. Here was someone who could speak English, and we could understand each other. I said, "Is Berlin a different place?" And she said, "Yes, I lived here for 3 years. It's no place like Berlin." And she was confirming what you were telling me. And she wasn't living in Berlin now. She had moved on to somewhere else. But it was good to talk to somebody who could speak English.
Richtig.
Yeah. So, I recommend people come to Berlin and have Roxana show them around. Do it to Roxana. You bike around. You walk around. You don't take cars. You don't get in the streetcar. You don't take the subways. You mingle, and she can show you what is unique about Berlin. Yep, definitely. You do notice that women can walk around very late, and there's no sense of threat. 2 a.m, they're walking around by themselves, and there's nobody even cares. Nobody's even looking at them. And then there's this whole phenomenon of these gangs of kids from Spain and France. They got no jobs in Spain and France. They're hanging out here, and you see them late at night, early in the morning, they're just sitting there drinking with, 5 guys and 3 girls, and they just stay up all night drinking, and we don't know where they go in the daytime, but there are these little clans, little clumps of humans floating around in Berlin. And it's easy to float around in Berlin. It's still, what is it? Is it a welfare state? It's easy to be supported? What do you call it? Still socialistic?
No, there are still many types of social help.
Social help. And we went to a restaurant, an Italian restaurant tonight, and at the end of it I went to pay my bill, and the waiter wouldn't take your credit card. So Roxanne says, "Well, they're a socialist restaurant. They don't acknowledge credit cards." So I had to pay cash. Don't experience that too much. And they were Italians, and they are serving in Berlin, and they refuse to speak Italian. I mean, German. Refuse to speak German. They will not speak German. Next question.
Are you a Berliner?
Yes, ich bin ein Berliner. I am the most ascended Berliner. I have found my people. Dobbstown was in Berlin all these decades, but I didn't know it.